say what needs to be said. Your job as an analyst is to critique players and analyze performances. Now, as a former player, there's a lot of former players that analyze players and have commentating jobs and broadcasters. We know how it feels to be attacked and misrepresented on television and things that we don't agree with or whether we agree with or not. We know how it feels. And we don't like it and we didn't like it. We never did. And younger players want that same type of respect, moving forward. And it's going to always be that way. And I can't say that was the case Sunday night when Rodney Harrison interviewed Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs when they just finished playing the New York Jets. It was an awkward interview. Everybody was saying how Rodney attacked, Zach Wilson and was trying to get Chris Jones to fall for the bait. And, shout out to Chris Jones, that young man. He did a great job of not falling for the bait and, uplifting his brother, his peers, So shout out to Chris Jones for holding that down. Rodney Harrison was an extremely aggressive football player back in his day, as we all are, aggressive by nature, just playing football your whole life. That's what our job is. So we're aggressive by nature. But when we have that mic in our hand and we're speaking on players' performance, we must tone it down a little bit, a lot of it. We can't be aggressive on the mic as thinking we're a player. We have to realize that we're not playing this game anymore. That's someone else's game. That's the younger gentleman game, the young men game now. So we can't be aggressive and into the game when we're speaking about it and all wrapped up and emotionally tied to it. And I think that what's happened sometimes when we hear the broadcasters and analyzing, players and what have you. So, but when you make those mistakes and attack players, it's definitely not a good look to be that person and have everybody coming at you because of your bizarre comments or the bizarre situation that you're creating. Although Zach Wilson did previously look horrible, whether you was watching him on film or television or wherever you watch Zach Wilson at, there's a time and place for everything. You don't want to, go and bash young men that are 22, 23, 24 years old. These statements, man, can hold a lot of value in a young man's head. These young men are trying to learn their way in life, and they're trying to learn at a rapid pace. And to keep hearing these comments come down on them every week, they're hearing, I'm horrible. You're terrible. You can't get nothing right. That can have an effect mentally on some of these young men. So, I think it's important for players and commentators and broadcasters to watch what they're saying and how they're attacking players, because you never know the effect that this can have, right? But Rodney was clearly out of line, and there's no question about it. But that's the good part of life. Everything in life, you can find good and bad from it. But the good part of life and how you become a better person is you live and you learn. So you learn from when you make a mistake and you go out and get better. And I'm sure Rodney Harrison, my brother, gonna look back at this situation and realize that he made a big mistake, a huge mistake. And he will go back and he's gonna mend the situation, because I'm sure there is no personal vendetta against Zach Wilson, or they don't have no personal issues. It's just Rodney being Rodney, and that's the aggressive player he is. And that's how we talked in practice. That's how we communicated every day, aggressively. And, he was a fun player to play with and a dynamic player to have on defense, and have the offense terrified by itself. So, shout out to Rodney Harrison, man. We know you're going to mend the situation, correct it, do what's right, because that's the type of heart he has. And shout out to Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, I was a believer in you. I'm still a believer in you. I know you can do this. I seen your talent coming out of college. I just don't know what took so long. Like I said previously, it was probably you being not really challenged too much your whole life. And now you understand what the challenge and the goal is about, because everybody has one common goal on the team, and that's to win. And boys, I'm excited, because Zach, I don't know why I want you to do good so bad, but keep doing your thing, because you're battling against Aaron Rodgers, whether you know it or not. You against Aaron Rodgers, whether the New York Jets will need Aaron Rodgers is up to you, Zach Wilson. You have an opportunity to seize the moment, and let's go out there and continue to get better. Focus, keep your head down and do what you've been doing this past week. It's only 1 week. It's over with. Move on. All right. Say what needs to be said.